Hey Pisces, thanks for dropping in with me. I'm here to give you a wild card read straight from the hip with lots of lip. We're diving into your collective energy where we're seeing just what's in play for you as we tap in this week. We got a very significant full moon energy coming in on the 25th. It's going to be a full moon in Libra. It's a lunar eclipse. It's tying up the time period that we last addressed back in October on the 28th when we had a lunar eclipse to close out lunar eclipse season back there. Okay, so this is coming back around the bend to be looked at once again. And then we have the other node of destiny being affected when we're looking at the new moon coming up in Aries on April 8th. So this is a really significant cycle. We also have Mercury retrograde in the mix. So everything old is new again. There's a lot that's coming around the bend. There's interesting energy around Pisces in association with this, but to me, it makes complete sense. And I say that because Libra in the South Node is all about balancing karma. And Pisces, your 12th house is the house of karma. So this is a very significant cycle that we're heading into right now. This is for any prominent Pisces placement, as well as if you have a prominent placement in that 12th house, or if you're a Virgo rising, that makes you a Pisces descendant. So without further ado, let's drop right in. We're using my shadow light, playing cards with you because it's what was calling you. Ooh, we got 5 of clubs in reverse in the light, okay? Something just isn't worth fighting for, all right? There's something that you're taking your hands off of. You don't feel like getting into some kind of embroiled battle. It's just not worth it, okay? You don't feel like you have a point that you need to prove. You're just letting something go. You're giving up some long intracted, like, you know, butting of heads situation. It could have been a competitive situation where there were multiple people involved, each wanting to achieve their aim, and you're just like, I'm out. I don't have time for this. I don't want to fight. I don't want to deal with this at all. Like, I didn't sign up for this. Okay, good for you. Removing yourself from a volatile situation is always a good sign, all right? Yeah, I think you just don't want things to be out of balance for yourself anymore. And so you're bringing things into balance by pulling out of this situation with the 2 of diamonds coming up in the light. You're finding your own equilibrium in this situation. You're like, I can do just fine on my own. I don't need to be involved in this situation. Okay, so there's some kind of like either a family dynamic or a group situation, like a social circle situation, or even a work situation, where there was just too much getting stirred up. It was like a battle of egos. It was a pissing contest, and it was becoming really problematic. Also, you were dealing with somebody in this situation who was super wishy-washy, could not make up their mind, you know? One minute, you know, they were of one mind in a situation. The next, they were doing the complete opposite. And you're like, could you just pick a side already? Like, I don't want to deal with somebody who's just straddling the fence here. You know, yeah, you know, those fence riders, they can be really problematic. You know, when people can't just be definitive, it's a problem. It's really not a good thing when you're dealing with a difficult situation and you got somebody who's just trying to keep everybody happy. Like, they're part of the problem a lot of the time. You know, it just breeds a sense of distrust in a situation. So I think in order for you to find your own sense of balance in this matter, you needed to just pull yourself out of it so you could get a different view. And this looks like it was the right move for you, all right? Woo! We got a lot coming out now, Pisces. So I do feel like there's something that's coming around at this time in relation to this situation that's ready to be balanced out. Maybe it wasn't ready to be balanced out back there. We got a lot of shadow influence here. Yeah, here we see the sense of competition, the 5 of clubs to the 7 of hearts. This could have been in matters of the heart. There could have been a lot of people who were competing for the same person, and maybe this person got off on it a little bit. There's a little bit of glamour thrown around here, both in the shadow, okay? So this is somebody who maybe gets a little bit of an ego stroking out of having a lot of people vying for their attention, this kind of thing. I also feel like this is somebody who is telling each person in this scenario a different thing to keep them hanging on the line and also put them at odds with another. This is like somebody who likes to stir up controversy. They like to stir up problems as a way to kind of like get off. I mean, I have to call it as I see it. Yes, we got the 8 of Diamonds here coming up in the shadow. This is my card also of doing workings when I'm working with this deck. So it is possible that you were dealing with people also that were working a situation, okay? Could that be magical workings? If you know people who roll like that, sure. This could also just be working a situation in a very manipulative way, you know? Sowing seeds of dissension, pitting people against each other, causing a lot of problems. All right, but I feel like in this situation, you're getting an ace up the sleeve because you're balancing something out here with the 6 of Diamonds to the Joker in the light. Okay, there's a little divine play here. You won't be fooled again, and you're not dealing with this fool. You're going to serve this fool some humble pie, all right? They may have disappointed you back there with the 4 of Hearts coming up in the shadow. But now you're flipping it up and reversing it on them like a game of Uno with the 8 of Diamonds coming up in the light. So I like this, okay? Because where this person thought they were working you, you're going to work them in return, all right? We do have the 5 of Diamonds here coming up in the shadow. So I feel like there was a lot of loss in this situation. And it could even be that somebody got like ghosted in this situation, or where there was a real sense of camaraderie and pulling together at one time. Somebody's been like pushed out of the loop, all right? And you're like, that's fine. I feel like maybe you got like kind of pushed on the outs and you're in this place now where you're like, I can do just fine on my own. I really feel like this restored a sense of peace for you to just pull yourself out of this fray. At the same time, there's also this piece too about needing to establish a certain level of stability, maybe even needing some kind of support, could be needing some kind of financial assistance. This could have been a situation too where your finances were negatively impacted, maybe because somebody was offering some kind of financial support or assistance and then they took their money and they, you know, pulled it back almost as a way to punish you or kind of like hold something over your head. Or maybe you were promised something financially and it wasn't delivered. I feel like where that's the case, you're recovering something financially that's going to pull you out of a tight spot, all right? There is somebody here who does genuinely care for you, all right? They do have your welfare at heart with the 6 of Hearts coming up in the light. So this could be somebody who's giving you a helping hand, okay? Getting you to the other side of a difficult situation. This could be somebody you've known for a long time. This could be like a childhood friend who's kind of like swooping in and, you know, helping you out of a jam. That's what I got, okay? This is somebody you can count on. There's a certain level of genuine mutual caring here, camaraderie. This is somebody who's part of your soul family. And they're giving you some assistance in this regard. Something really became an unstable situation here, but you're definitely pulling out of it. And here comes more shadow influence, right? What do we got here? Yeah, I mean, something was terribly out of balance here. And there was something that you were supposed to receive or something you were supposed to be promised, you know, in this situation. You know, it's supposed to be like this give and take, a reciprocal flow, and somebody just like straight up cut you out and left you hanging here with the 6 of Diamonds coming up in the shadow, crossing energy. And something was operating, you know, beneath the surface. For some of you, this had something to do with some kind of contractual agreement. There was a hidden clause. You needed to read all the details. You needed to check out the fine print. You might be becoming aware of this, okay? There might be something that's being revealed to you. This could be something that's in a message. This is some kind of receipts. With this being hidden and in reverse, I feel like that's what's going to be illuminated for you. It could be money that is due you, or it could be something that gives you an opportunity to beat this Joker at their own game and gain the upper hand so you can get what's actually due you, all right? But whatever this is, it's something that was previously hidden and it's now coming to light, all right? So something's being revealed here. It's got big, like a clause in some kind of contract, some kind of legally binding document. It's got like hidden messages being revealed. It gives you what you need to turn around a situation where it seems like you were not given what was promised. Something was unfair. It's something that could have potentially like frozen your assets or in some way put you in a real bind financially. Okay, let's see what's going on with this for Pisces. Give some more details here for Pisces. All right, it does look like there's a little divine play. You're getting some kind of assistance here to get out of a tight jam. And whatever you did in regard to, you know, cutting off this nonsense and pulling yourself out of this was the wise choice here. Oh, yes. Because this was supposed to be a happily ever after. This was supposed to be some opportunity for fulfillment. You thought that this was going to be the end all be all, but man, it's a horror story here with the 10 of Hearts coming up in the shadow. Yeah, Ted's affirming that. Okay, this is not a good situation. This is like smoke and mirrors. This is a bunch of BS. Yeah. There was somebody here that really promised you something with the Ace of Diamonds coming up in the shadow, and they did not deliver. This could also be somebody that's like, I'm all in, I'm committed to you, I got you, and then they left you hanging, they left you in a lurch, they left you on your own in this situation. 7 of Diamonds. There was no mutual investment here. They hung you out to dry. There's your energy right here, Pisces, okay? I can see that your heart was in the right place and somebody took advantage of you in this situation. But what I will say is what is due you, what you should receive, what is justifiably yours will come in for you. All right? It's been held up for a long time. I know you're worse for the wear. You went through a lot. There's been a lot of blockages around this, but what is rightfully yours will be restored with the 8 of Hearts here, okay? You might have had to kind of like go on your own for a while. You had to break from the pack. You had to get an internal readjustment in a situation where you thought you knew the lay of the land, and then you started to realize, wait a minute, something's feeling off here, okay? And I think it was hard for you to make this choice because you reached a certain level where you're like, oh my gosh, but I've like poured so much into this particular situation, this person, this arrangement, you know, I've given so much to this. I thought it was going to go to that 10 of Hearts. I thought it was going to be fulfilled. I really believed this person was of their word, you know. I thought there was alignment here, and then you realized it was false. There was something here that was an illusion. And when you recognize that somebody here was just really like a master manipulator, you pulled your energy out fast with the 8 of Clubs in the shadow. This is like energy that's like going to hell in a handbasket, you know, like quick, you know, and you recognize that something was nosediving. You're like, I need to pull out of this like fast. And you did. And this was a smart move, okay? This was a really smart move. You needed to pull out of this. This is not a good situation. Okay, give me some more details about this for Pisces, please. Give me some more details about this for Pisces, please. What does Pisces need to know about this? All right. Yeah, again, it's one of those things like you wish for this at one point. You thought this was like a dream come true. 9 of Hearts in reverse. Stop this train. I want off in the shadow. It's like big. Be careful what you wish for energy. You just might get it. And you did not like what was showing up. Okay, so there's a realignment happening for you here. That's what's going down right now, Pisces, with the theory of 11. Do look for signs of this realignment happening with you coming in on April 8th with that new moon in Aries, okay? This will get you back on the right track, right? So something is coming up here to be cleared out that wasn't addressed before, right? This could have something to do with the King of Spades energy, okay? Could be an Aquarius, big Aquarius vibes there. This could be something that has to do with a legal matter where something unjust went down, okay? I can see that. This will be balanced out, okay? There will be something that is, balanced out here that makes things right. There could be a very strong air sign energy factoring in this situation that's operating in the light, that's taking some kind of strong action as well, that's bringing things into balance. Big Aquarius energy could also be Libra South Node energy. There's some kind of karmic balancing happening here. Could also be a Gemini, all right? A lot of this could have gone down on social media. We got Facebook, we got Twitter, we got YouTube, all right? In the light, all right? A lot's come to light. And now there is something that will be moving forward in such a way that feels appropriate, all right? With the Jack of Clubs here. It's like a fire is getting put under somebody's butt to rectify things and straighten things out. You may even be putting fire under somebody's butt and saying, hey, you got to address this. Like, this isn't freaking cool, man. You know that something went left. You know that something's not right in this situation. And I feel like maybe you got caught up in this a little bit. I mean, I have to say, it looks like you got caught up in this a little bit. Okay? But I do think you had a little bit of a directional reroute. At some point, you recognized that you were dealing with a situation that nothing was above board. And there was a lot of manipulation going on here. And you're like, okay, I need to rethink this. Yep. You weren't always operating in the light, Pisces. I have to say, you got your energy here in the shadow. But I do think you kind of called yourself to the mat at one point with the Two of Spades here in the light. You went, wait a minute. I got to kind of like hold myself back here. I got to pull my energy back here. I think you started to realize that something was beginning to take on a life of its own. And you realized maybe I don't quite have this figured out. There's a lot going on here, and I don't quite understand what's happening with the Five of Clubs coming up in the light. You realize when you pulled your energy back and you put some blocks in place, the way that you got pulled into this like kind of like competitive sphere where there was a lot of conflict. And you realize by you hanging out and being involved in this situation, you were actually feeding that conflict, that you were becoming embroiled in it, and you decided to set yourself apart from it, which was smart. You put the brakes on big time with the Jack of Diamonds in the shadow. You're like, I got to put a stop to this. This is not right. There could have been somebody who came into an earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, who was especially like, no, this stops now. And in fact, this person may have done this very aggressively. They may have put the brakes on very aggressively. It could have even been this person that came in and was like, hey, you need to be aware of what's going on here, right? There ain't nothing that's about love in this situation. There's nothing about caring in this situation. What's happening here is tainted. This isn't right, There was somebody who like really brought you back into your heart and got you looking at your role in a certain situation. I get that they like really helped you like tamp the brakes on something with the Four of Spades here in the light. And you realize, I got to let this go, I got to let this go before it becomes terribly burdensome with the 10 of Clubs here in the shadow. Whoever that person is that came in and helped you out in that regard, you really owe them, man. You do. Because this is a situation that could have really gotten terribly out of control. Look at this. King of Clubs in the shadow. Ugh. Fire sign energy. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Extremely egocentric. Wanting all control. Selfishly motivated. Brutal, aggressive. This is not a good energy. King of Clubs in the shadow is a horrible energy, man. And it's definitely not coming from the heart space, okay? This is like an egomaniac. This is somebody who's like way out of control and way out of line. Cut of deck energy, got the shadow here, 4 of diamonds in the shadow. Total codependency kind of dynamic, unhealthy power dynamics, all right? Not good. See, this is what came to light, how much this was actually a burdensome arrangement here. And who does the burden get put on? The burden gets put on you, all right? You were smart, all right? This is about you coming back into your sense of personal value, right? This is valuing yourself enough to know this ain't it, man. This ain't it. I'm not going to be an option in this situation, and nobody's going to pull the wool over my eyes, and nobody's going to put me in this like fantasy land where everything is so murky and unclear. I have no idea what's going on. There could have been a queen of clubs in this situation too. This can be like a witchy energy. Queen of clubs in the shadow who is doing some heavy manipulation, all right? Aries, Leo, Sagittarius could have been firing off some stuff in your direction, creating problems, all right? This is why you brought this situation to an end. 10 of spades. You just knew this situation was so volatile, man. In fact, this could have been like a dynamic duo tag teaming here. Do you see this? This could have been a dynamic duo tag teaming here to cause a lot of problems, all right? That's like control freak energy, man. You did a wise thing when you moved away from this with the 6 of spades in the shadow, all right? What I would caution about is it's possible that you could feel tempted to kind of like reroute and go back that way, but I don't recommend it, because if you think that it'll be any different or you can reason with this kind of energy, you're nuts. I just have to call it plainly. You're nuts. 9 of spades in the shadow, right? Get while the getting's good in this situation. You should really have your guard up. You should have your guard up in this situation with the 9 of clubs in the shadow, because if you don't, it's going to be like backfire after backfire after backfire after backfire. It's going to be nothing but repeat towers coming your way, all right? This is a situation where there's a really unhealthy dynamic at play, all right? That's an outside energy that can cause severe upheaval in this situation and a lot of problems. This is one of those things where it's like, you need to cut this off. And I know that may not be easy, but you got to cut this off, and you got to cut this off cold, right? You got to cut it off cold. We got like the Libra energy coming in here very strongly, okay, with the Queen of Spades in the light. In fact, there could have even been a Libra or a Gemini or an Aquarius in this situation who was like, oh, hell no, and they cut something off cold in this situation. This person knew they had to cut it off cold because they understood the truth in this situation, right? They understood this character. They understood how brutal this character was, right? They could have even had experience with this person. They already went through around with this person, dealing with this stuff and all this like third party energy here. They knew this was no good, all right? Be mindful about this. I do get that you might be tempted to like swing back around and see if you can work something out. I don't advise it. I mean, you do what you want to do, Pisces, but this is nothing but like a lot of negative, heavy energy here. There's no promise of fulfillment here. The best you're going to get out of this situation is have restored what's rightfully yours and establishing some kind of peace for yourself in this situation, all right? I do feel like you got somebody here who's helping you out, so be appreciative of that, okay? Let me just do one cut of the deck energy. What do I want to work with here? I think, yeah, expectation, okay? So there's the 28th, okay? That was when there was the last eclipse, so do expect that there will be like the last gasp of this situation coming out to be addressed, right? And I do feel like You could be tempted to get like pulled back into this thing, but you would be wise to just, you know, continue to maintain your peace in this situation. Don't get pulled into any arguments. Don't get pulled into the fray. There's a lot of untrustworthy energy operating here, okay? Yeah. Wealthy man, okay? There could be a man that's got a lot of clout. They got a lot of money in this situation. They like to use their money to maintain control in this situation. You know, be aware of this, okay? I don't know, you know. I mean, I do see that you're getting a little help in this situation, but mature woman, expectation, okay? So look, we got the 28th there. We got 6, life path number 6 may be factoring in here, all right? You may be anticipating some kind of communication with this mature woman, all right? And this could be something around a child, okay? There does look like there could be a child involved in this situation. Maybe somebody is expecting a child, all right? And there's a main female here, all right? We got a marriage in the mix as well. So this does have vibes of potentially like a mistress energy with a love child, but it looks like somebody here is already in a committed relationship. Yeah, there's some change coming in this situation, all right? And there's going to be an official person bringing some news in this regard, okay? Now, an official person could be somebody that's like willing to take some kind of legal action in this situation to straighten things out. What do we got here? Message of concern, all right? You'll hear about this. I think you would be wise not to push anything in this matter, okay? It looks like, I have to tell you, it's like a telenovela, okay? This looks really dramatic. If you think there's a way to straighten out this situation and have it turn out well, there's not. The best thing you can do is bring this thing to a close, all right? Because look what we got here. We got change brought about by an official person. We know there's going to be a message of concern in relation to this. This could have something to do with a house, with a mature man, all right? And you're going to be tempted, like, I don't know. Should I open up to this? It'll trap you again. I'm telling you, the best course of action in this situation is bring it to a close, man, with the coffin, all right? There's nothing good that can come out of this situation. There just isn't. It's nothing but toil and labor, all right? You got it here, man. Make the right choice in this situation. The right choice was to pull yourself out of this mess. It ain't going to change. It's the same old, man. And it always will be.